This is Adventure for Life. I'm Joel. Welcome to day 14 of the Grenadier 15,000 mile cross-country trek. I am in Idaho, headed toward Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I'm giving you a 360 here. Spent the night last night in Idaho Falls, which is about 3 hours north of Salt Lake City. Anyway, why did I stop here? I mean, I just stopped along the highway. It's because, and I remember this from driving across Idaho before, you just have miles and miles and miles and miles of farmland with unbelievable irrigation systems and whatnot. And I wish I could get to a higher spot, and if I do, I will stop and video it. Obviously, you got the mountains in the distance and whatnot, which are pretty, but it's just amazing. And there again, you see the irrigation equipment, and it goes for, I mean, it's unbelievable how long some of these things are. Anyway, different kind of beauty, and I wanted to show it to you. And again, if I get to an elevated position, I'll stop and get a better view. But again, miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. The biggest fields, farming fields I've ever seen are in Idaho. All right, on a different subject, back to the maintenance visit from yesterday. I forgot to point something out, so I'm going to do it right now. One of the things that they changed is, you know, right here it shows the tire pressure. So this is front is 43 PSI max, and the rear is 49 PSI max. Well, one of the things that they changed yesterday is they changed that max on the tire pressure because Ineos came out and said, hey, that's too high a pressure. And so they lowered it. I think it's to 37 all the way around. I know that when I left, they had lowered the tire pressure at Warner Ineos. But when I left there, pretty quickly, the high temperature warning light came on because, you know, I'm driving down the highway and the temperatures are increasing in the tire, and so the tire expands. Anyway, so I lowered it, I believe, to 36 all the way around, and that turned the tire pressure, high tire pressure indicator off. We'll see if it comes back on this drive. Again, I'm not in Death Valley anymore. It's 72 degrees this morning here. I think the high's in the 90s up in Yellowstone or whatnot, which is pretty high. But anyway, wanted to point that out. So Ineos has decided that tire pressure that's labeled on the door of the vehicle is too high. By the way, I did notice when I was driving yesterday, after lowering the tire pressure down to the 35, 36 range, the ride was good already, but the ride is noticeably better. And when I say noticeably, I'm not complaining about what was. I'm just saying you really can tell a difference, that it's a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more smooth when you hit a little bump or whatever. All right, see you headed to Jackson Hole. See you there. So I'm literally 3 miles down the road from that last video, and this is the Snake River. So I don't think Evel Knievel made his jump way back in the day when he attempted it. But, you know, a lot of people, when they think of Idaho, don't think of natural beauty. Of course, a lot of people don't think of Idaho because it's a quiet state and not well known for a lot of things, but Idaho really is a beautiful state. Unfortunately, we went to, 20 years ago, went to Craters of the Moon National Park, or whatever it's called, National Monument, something. And it was just fantastic, really otherworldly. And again, Idaho, really, really, really pretty country. If you can see there in the distance, there's, you know, more mountains way off over there. And again, all around us is farming country. So it's really, really pretty. You know, they don't just grow potatoes here. They grow all kinds of stuff. And, you know, I don't know if this is on a percentage basis, grow more crops here than anywhere else in the U.S., but it wouldn't surprise me just because so much of it is cultivated and is planted. So I mentioned Craters of the Moon just a second ago. I tried to squeeze it into this schedule. It was about an hour and a half west of where we stayed last night, and because of our schedule and because of trying to get to Grand Teton and Yellowstone tonight, I just couldn't squeeze it in. I really wanted to though, because it's unlike anything I'd ever seen. It really is otherworldly because it looks like exactly what its namesake is. It looks like you're walking through craters on the moon. Yeah, I decided I'd get a picture of the Grenadier with the Snake River in the background real quick, and we'll do a little, not really a 360, but I should have parked where that dumb truck parking sign wasn't, but anyway, there you go. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the drone footage that I just shot, but had to kind of get the GoPro out, and this is the Snake River, as you see right there on the sign, Snake River, and really pretty. You know, I don't remember when old Evel Knievel tried to jump it. I assume it was in the 70s sometimes, and he obviously didn't try to jump it here. He picked the most narrow place they had, but really, really, really pretty place. Again, Idaho is not well enough known, although I think a bunch of Californians have figured out Idaho and have started moving this way. But anyway, wanted you to be able to see the Snake River. Okay, we're making lousy progress toward Grand Teton and Yellowstone because we keep seeing all this great stuff. So here we are, just went over Teton Pass, 8,500 feet roughly. Howdy, stranger. Yonder's Jackson Hole, the last of the old West. And there you have, hopefully you can see Jackson Hole in the background. So I'll do a quick 360 here. I mean, you're gonna mainly see cars back behind us, but there's the pass right there that we just came across. Lots of pretty flowers for you flower lovers. And then there's a hiking trail down here. One of the things I wanted to do on this trip was get some cool pictures of the Grenadier and cool places. And 8,500 feet overlooking Jackson Hole is one of them, the last of the old West. Okay, I'm in Jackson Hole. I rode my motorcycle through here a couple years ago when I was headed out west to do the Washington and Idaho BDRs. All I did was spend the night and then move on. But anyhow, here's one of the main roads in Jackson Hole, and today we're stopping here because we're gonna go to Sidewinders Tavern, which is one of the diners, drive-ins, and dives locations, and it is right here. I haven't seen it yet, but we're headed there. Anyway, looking forward to that. Well, all in the same place. You got Noodle Kitchen and Sushi Bar, An American Grill and Tavern, which looks like a cool place to go, but you also have Sidewinders, American Grill, upstairs. So headed that way. Okay, so on the menu, you've got that little insignia that's diners, drive-ins, and dives. So we're going to order the Sidewinder pretzel, the French onion soup.
How you guys doing today?
And chicken pot pie. Oh, great! So we're in Sidewinder's Tavern again, and there is the view. So we're upstairs, pretty awesome. So pretty stoked about this. Okay, so there's the Sidewinder pretzel, which is one of their specialties, which I suspect is the reason why it's in the shape of an S. Anyhow, getting ready to try that with the sauce. Looks pretty awesome. I should have mentioned that you can order the Sidewinder with ingredients inside. So if you look there, we got some mozzarella and then pepperoni and onion inside of it. So here's to tasting it. Okay, so this pretzel is just really, really, really fantastic. Best pretzel I've ever had in my life. And there is the French onion soup, which I'll be trying in a minute. I love French onion soup. I am a connoisseur, so we'll see how this stacks up to others I've had before. Okay, the French onion soup is very good. Again, I'm a connoisseur. I've had better, but this is really, really, really good. Here is the chicken pot pie, and that looks phenomenal. And then this is what they call the Phantom Pizza. So it's an interesting design. Looks great, and we'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so again, we started with the Sidewinder pretzel stuffed with mozzarella, pepperoni, and red onion. Just extremely good. The bread, whatever they make it out of, fantastic. French onion soup, you see I ate most of it. Again, it's fantastic. I've had better. That's not a complaint, but really, really, really good. The pizza I tried, my daughter said best pizza she's ever had. I might not go quite that far, but it was really, really, really good. And I think the bread, the crust is the same as that. And then as far as the chicken pot pie goes, I would say, and I have to say this quietly so my wife doesn't hear, but that could easily be the best chicken pot pie I've ever had. And hers is fantastic, but that is really, really, really good. Now, I'm not a mushroom fan, and so you see some mushrooms there that I kind of push to the side. For those of you that are mushroom fans, you'd like it even better. So anyway, phenomenal restaurant. Now it's, since we haven't eaten all this, we're going to order dessert. Okay, so there's the cast iron cookie with a couple of dips of vanilla ice cream on it. Looks phenomenal. We're going to share and let you know. Okay, that was Sidewinders. This whole diners, drive-ins, and dives thing has been such a good thing to do. I have enjoyed it immensely. Adds a lot of fun to the trip, and there's been several times on this trip where I've said, well, that's the best restaurant I've eaten at yet, and you hate to say it because frequently the last thing you had is, if it was good, you're going to say, oh, that was the best, but there's a high percentage chance that was the best that I've had on this trip. A couple other things about the diners, drive-ins, and dives thing. And again, I've only watched the show a few times, but another real positive about it is that, first of all, the restaurants are not some fancy restaurant. So that's where we sat, right up there at the middle table. But they're not some fancy restaurant that you got to have reservations for and you got to dress up for and are real expensive or whatever. I mean, most of these restaurants, as I've mentioned several times, are in some kind of, I hate to call it a strip center, but, Sidewinders, American Grill and Tavern. Anyway, some kind of strip center like this one is, and the food's just good. and not all that expensive. I don't think I've been to one yet that I've considered to be an expensive restaurant or whatnot. For two people, that was $100, and we ordered more food than we needed, and ate dessert and had an appetizer and blah blah blah. So, you know, again, I'm not a salesman for any of this stuff, but adding that component to these trips has really added some fun, some enjoyment, and obviously some good food along the way. It's a whole lot better than stopping at McDonald's, which I won't eat at McDonald's anyway, but just really does add some fun. All right, we're headed to Grand Teton, finally.